Let's talk about money. Specifically, let's talk about managing it without spending hours staring at spreadsheets. I found a tool that completely changed the game for me. It's called n8n. Think of it like digital Legos for your apps. It lets you connect different services you already use, like your email, your bank app, and your spreadsheets, and make them work together automatically. You don't need to be a coding genius to use it. It's a visual tool. You just drag and drop little blocks, called nodes, to build a sequence of actions. It's that simple. This is how I save a ton of time on my finances every single day. Before I started using n8n, managing my money was a manual process. It was tedious. I had to download bank statements. I had to copy and paste transactions into a spreadsheet. I had to set reminders to pay bills. It took up valuable time that I could have spent on my YouTube channel or finding new real estate deals. The problem with manual work is that it's easy to make mistakes. You might forget a transaction or type in the wrong number. With automation, you set up the rules once, and the system handles the rest perfectly every single time. It's like having a free personal assistant working for you 24/7. So, what does this look like in practice? Imagine every time you buy a coffee, you get an email receipt. Normally that email just sits in your inbox. With n8n, I built a system, what they call a workflow, that automatically sees that email. It reads the important details, like the price and the store name. Then, it adds that information as a new row in my Google Sheets budget tracker. I don't have to lift a finger. The entire process happens in the background, instantly. This means my financial records are always up to date, down to the last penny. This level of automation is powerful. It's not just about saving time. It's about having a crystal clear picture of your financial health at any moment. When you know exactly where your money is going, you can make smarter decisions. You can see which subscription services you're not using. You can identify areas where you're overspending. For me, it means I can optimize my spending and maximize my savings with almost no effort. It's one of the best financial hacks I've ever implemented, and it costs almost nothing to get started. It's all about working smarter, not harder. Let's break down exactly how I track my expenses automatically. The whole system starts with a trigger. In n8n, a trigger is the event that kicks off your workflow. For me, the trigger is a new email in a specific folder in my Gmail account. I have a rule set up in Gmail that automatically moves any email with the word receipt or invoice into a special folder called receipts. This keeps my main inbox clean and organizes everything for n8n to process. So whenever a new receipt lands in that folder, my n8n workflow instantly wakes up and gets to work on its own. Once the workflow is triggered, the next step is to extract the data. The email itself contains all the information I need, but it's not structured. So I use a special n8n node, often one that uses AI, to read the email content. This node is trained to find key pieces of information. It looks for the total amount spent, the date of the transaction, and the name of the merchant. For example, if I get a receipt from Starbucks, the node will pull out $5.75, June 11th, 2025, and Starbucks. It's incredibly accurate and saves me from having to read and manually input anything. After pulling the data, the next block in my workflow categorizes the expense. This is where the magic really happens for budgeting. I have a simple set of rules. If the merchant name contains Starbucks or Coffee Bean, it gets categorized as coffee. If it contains Uber or Lyft, it's transportation. If it's Amazon, it's usually shopping. This step is crucial because it transforms a simple list of transactions into meaningful data. It tells me not just how much I spent, but where I spent it, which is essential for any good budget. The final step is to record everything. I have my n8n workflow connected directly to a Google Sheet that I use as my master budget tracker. The last node in the sequence takes the extracted information, the date, the merchant, the amount, and the new category, and adds it as a brand new row in my spreadsheet. The entire process, from the email arriving to the spreadsheet being updated, takes less than a second. I can then open my Google Sheet at any time and see a perfectly organized real-time log of all my spending, all without any manual data entry from my side. Tracking expenses is just the beginning. The real power comes from using that data to actively manage your budget and savings. My n8n setup doesn't just record what I've spent, it helps me stay on track. For instance, I have another workflow that runs at the end of every week. This workflow reads my expense spreadsheet and calculates the total amount I've spent in each category, like groceries or entertainment. It then compares these totals to the weekly budget limits I've set for myself. This gives me an instant overview of my financial performance for the week. This weekly summary is delivered right to my phone. I use an n8n node that connects to a messaging app like Telegram. Every Sunday evening, I get a simple message. It might say something like, weekly summary groceries $120 out of $150 on track. Entertainment $60 out of $50 over budget. This simple notification is incredibly effective. It acts as a feedback loop, letting me know immediately if I need to adjust my spending for the week ahead. It's like having a financial coach check in with me, keeping me accountable without any judgment. It's proactive, not reactive. I also use n8n to automate my savings goals. Let's say I want to save an extra $500 this month. I create a rule in n8n that helps me do this effortlessly. For example, I have a workflow that monitors my checking account balance. If the balance goes above a certain threshold, it automatically triggers a transfer of a small amount, say $25, into my high-yield savings account. This is called sweep automation. It moves spare cash into savings so it can start earning interest, ensuring my money is always working for me instead of just sitting there idly. Finally, I automate my financial reporting. At the end of each month, n8n compiles all the data from my spreadsheet and generates a simple PDF report. This report includes charts and graphs showing my spending breakdown, my income versus expenses, and my savings progress. It's a comprehensive financial statement that takes zero effort to create. This report is then automatically emailed to me. It gives me a high-level view of my financial journey, helping me spot long-term trends and plan for the future. It's about making data-driven decisions to build wealth consistently over time. If all of this sounds interesting, the good news is that you can start today. You don't need to be a tech expert. The first step is to simply sign up for n8n. They have a cloud version that is very easy to get started with, and you can begin building your first workflow in minutes. Don't try to automate everything at once. Start with one small, simple task. A great first project is the one I mentioned earlier, automatically logging email receipts to a Google Sheet. It's a high-impact automation that will immediately show you the power of this tool and build your confidence. Next, think about the tools you already use every day. Do you use Google Sheets? Do you get email receipts? Do you use a messaging app like Slack or Telegram? The key to successful automation is connecting the services you are already comfortable with. n8n has hundreds of pre-built integrations. Just look for the logos of the apps you use and see what's possible. The n8n community and documentation are also fantastic resources. If you get stuck, there are plenty of tutorials and forum posts from other users who can help you solve your problem. As you get more comfortable, start thinking about your biggest financial pain points. What is the most annoying, repetitive task you have to do? Is it remembering to pay a specific bill? Is it trying to figure out how much you spent on subscriptions last month? These are perfect candidates for automation. Build a workflow that sends you a reminder a few days before a bill is due. Create another workflow that scans your bank statement for recurring payments and lists them out for you. Focus on solving real problems you face. Finally, my best advice is to just be curious and patient. Your first workflow might not be perfect, and that's okay. The process is about learning and refining. Each time you build a small automation, you are saving your future self hours of work. Managing your finances doesn't have to be a chore. By using tools like n8n, you can build a smart, automated system that works for you. It frees up your time and mental energy, allowing you to focus on what truly matters, achieving your financial goals and building a better future.